Diamond channel, welcome. Right, today I'm going to be having a close look at this ring given to my wife from her mother, my mother-in-law, and apparently it came from England, so I'm going to have a close look at it now. And the idea for the video is I'm going to be sharing with you what us professional jewellers, or ex-professional jeweller in my case, what goes through our minds and what we're looking for when we're checking over a ring for the first time. You know, customers come into the shop, they give you something, they want you to size it or check it over, value the diamonds or whatever. You have a close look at it, so I'm going to tell you what I look for, potential problems and all that. But yeah, apparently this came from England a while ago, so telling me that, I'm going to have a quick look at the hallmark. Let me actually look at it. I can't do anything like this through the camera lens, looking at the screen on the camera, so I'm going to be moving around a little bit. So yeah, as I suspected, you can tell by the colour and the feel of it and the weight of it, that was 18 karat gold. Can confirm that with a hallmark, or 750 just stamped it. It isn't a hallmark, but this is a proper English hallmark, so yeah, it's true it come from England. The little anchor means it's assayed in the Birmingham assay office. Let's have a quick look. It's like a sort of foreign-y looking stamp 750 there next to the normal one, and then the maker's mark looks like P2 or PZ, if you know jeweller, whatever jewellers that is. Pz Jewellers made that. Okay, so first of all, I think I would naturally just try and find the most obvious kind of things first of all, so rather than getting a magnification on the individual claws first, I would just go for the most obvious things, like is it round? If it's slightly egg shape, that means the ring's sort of been put under stress. You might get a break there, it's quite common. Shank will come unattached to the head. I'm not actually decided if this could be a two-piece casting, meaning like that top is cast and then the shank is cast, and the jewellers will just put them together. Could even be a single piece casting. I'm just putting a loop over the join, seeing if it looks soldered or something. Oh, that's two-piece casting. I can sort of tell there's a join underneath. So anyway, yeah. So I now know there's a solder join there. Looking at the side, there's a bit of a flat spot there. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera, on the screen. It looks flat there, so I'm suspicious there might be a solder join there, and it's just been filed up a bit roughly. It's been over-filed, I think. Anyway, so there might be a solder join there. I can loop that. If I can't see a line, obviously, you can always try and dig your finger in it. If you look closely with the loop, sometimes you can see it's just slightly different colour, yellow line on there. What else? This looks really white, like it's just freshly rhodium. Looks hardly like it's been worn at all. Just been sat in a jewellery box or something. So yeah, I'm looking at the claws, definitely a cast head on that. But you've got to look closely, check for cracks. Obviously claws, you want to see the stones. If you're about to put in ultrasonic or anything, the stones have got to be secure, otherwise that stone comes out and then you're resetting it for free and stuff, and it was actually a problem with it before you touched it, so you end up doing stuff for free that you should have been able to charge for. So looking at these claws, I've already looped them. Stones are terrible, they're all full of inclusions and black bits, really poor quality diamonds. These two claws, right, that one and that one, you can see it's just been set really quickly. You see they've just split down it to get metal over both stones. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get the stone secure, but that's not good setting. People always sort of, not always, but I get a kind of snarky comments on my channel when I say something a little bit less positive about other jewellers I see on YouTube, and then people sort of love pointing out that I can't do setting, others jewellers can. I can do setting, but when I say I can't do setting, I'm talking about doing it at a really good level. Like, I wouldn't take on a setting job. Like, I could set that ring. Like, if someone gave me the diamonds and that mount, I could totally do that job. Like, I reckon I'd do it better than this. But also, I say I can't do setting because I'm talking about doing a proper job, like getting it all really neat and everything all perfectly in line. No tricks, no cheap tricks of splitting down claws just to get the metal to spread about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a high class quality job, which I can't do. Anyway, so looking at the side and looking up and down the claws, obviously if they're worn out you can tell if they've been repaired. They might have gone flat. You can sometimes see little solder lines over the top or down the side. That means they've been re-tipped. That does get the job done when a claw's worn out, but it's a borderline bodge repair. Really, that entire claw should be replaced, because if you just put a soldered top on, the solder joint there quite commonly they can just pick off. They catch and they break really quickly. So it's a bit of a bodge repair. It's easier to do, so that's why a lot of jewellers go for it, and it's cheaper for the customer as well. If you offer it and explain the difference, no harm in doing it if they don't want to spend as much. But yeah, much better off just replacing that whole claw, and you get a fresh bit of metal. It's joined top and bottom nice and strong, and it's fresh on top, and it's just stronger, better repair. But you will have to charge a bit more for it. A lot more metal, but it's a better repair. Anyway, so I'm checking over it. I have nothing scary about this ring at all. It looks pretty much new. It just looks like it's been sized badly, but I would have no hesitation putting it ultrasonic, sizing it down quite a lot. Just when you're sizing it, so you've got to cut out a big piece, like I say 8 sizes, something like that. Like there, I would, if I had to size this out and it was a big size, I'd been good. I can get rid of that flat spot. So I'd cut out where it's wider, cut out that flat spot there, like 6, 7, 8 sizes, whatever that would be. Close it up, but you've got to be careful of the stress you're putting on the shoulders and stuff. Anyway, just things to look out for. So doing a big sizing, you've got to really check the condition of things, and if things are really thin, you can replace the whole shank, which is a proper job, or half shank is totally acceptable. Sometimes they just totally wear out underneath, and you can see if that's previously been done by seeing solder joints there and there. That's not sizing, that's where someone's previously had the whole back half replaced. If you do that job, I recommend putting, there's no harm in going slightly heavier gauge. If the customer wants to keep it a long time and just wear it for years and years, obviously they've been wearing it a lot and they've worn it right out, so you may as well, don't have to obviously, you can put one slightly heavier gauge so it goes a little bit thicker than where you're joining it. This is something I've done in the past. Just helps the longevity, but then, you know, cost you more in the weight of gold and stuff, so whatever you want. I suppose the best advice is just to match where you're joining it all the way around, keeping it nice and uniform. But anyway, yeah, repairing stuff, there is opportunities to improve a piece of jewellery loads and loads of times. I've had a worn out piece of jewellery and I've given it back to them, not only repaired but actually better than before it was new, because I've like straightened up claws and stuff, like just tweaked it, like filed things up where they've been done poorly, polished things out much nicer than they were. Like this one was badly polished inside, it's quite liney. Look, that's not a good polish. In that London store I worked, if I'd finished a ring to that level, they would have thrown it back at me. Quite terrible really, how badly that's polished inside. Oh, see that line? Solder joint there, look. If you get 1, 2 close together, that means a piece has been put in. I told you, look, there it is. See that? Can you see how that's totally different dimensions there? So yeah, basically a strong ring is just a bit of an horrible ring. It's got cheap diamonds in it. There's nothing wrong with it, like structurally, so I could ultrasonic that, I could size it, retip it, whatever it needed, I would do without any hesitation on that. But basically, I know all this because I've checked over it carefully. So even if you're just going to put a ring, which you already know, like you already sold it a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, and the customer's bought it in, they just want it cleaned, they just want it ultrasonic, it's a little complimentary ultrasonic, because it's nice to offer people as a bit of after-sales service. Yeah, you still got to check over it carefully. Check there's no cracks in the stones or anything, or like damage in there, that things that could be a problem if it goes in ultrasonic. So yeah, you've got to have a close look at everything before you do anything to it, and it can save you a lot of headaches by knowing what you've got and what you're going to do with it. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on what I look for in rings. Just check, look at them, all different angles. Is it round? Is it straight? Is it twisted? Is it previous repairs? Stones, cracks? If there is, you want to tell the customer this while you're face to face or before you do anything to it, because there's a chance you could ultrasonic it, comes out the ultrasonic, and then it's much more obvious there's a crack in a diamond or something, and then you tell the customer, after it's ultrasonic it, I found there's a crack on there, and then they could quite easily blame you for doing it, and then you end up replacing a diamond for free. So really is well worth your time to have a close look at things and make customers wait, don't rush it. It's important for you to get it right, not make mistakes. So save yourself a load of headaches by just looking at your pieces before you do anything to them. So that's it. If you're new to the channel, basically I'm a ex-professional jeweller. I was working in London for over 20 years, making high-end bespoke handmade pieces, and now I'm in Japan raising the kids over here. So I want to keep my skills alive and put everything I learnt to good use and help as many people as possible through this channel. So I'm uploading videos, doing like jewelry making instructional videos, and also a bit like this one, like sharing like tips and wisdom I picked up over the years, getting through experience making stuff and working as a jeweler. So yeah, if you're into that, if you're looking to learn to make jewelry, check out all the other videos as well. Don't go out of date. You can go down like 2 years, 3 years in the past. It's all relevant stuff. All the stuff I'm teaching on this channel, I've been doing it for decades. It was taught to me by people who did it decades, and they were taught by people who also did it decades, so really old-fashioned skill. So just because a video is 2 years old on my channel doesn't mean it's not relevant. There's likely going to be stuff that's going to be helpful or useful to you. So yeah, if you want to help me out, click like and subscribe. And if you want to take it a step further, you can visit patron.com/diamondmelter. You can become a patron, and supports me a little bit more and really enables me to continue making videos like this. So cool, right, yeah. Hope to see you again on the next upload. See you later, bye.